Coming up next on the CHGO Cubs Podcast, 8 straight wins. Boyd is back. Busch is back. Seiya's back. Jared Wylls is back. We're going streaking. Vibe with us next. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Podcast, presented by Bet365, where winning is everything, and Toyota. Let's go places. We are live from the Xfinity Loft in downtown Chicago. Your Cubs have just won their 8th straight game. You heard me right.
Yes.
8 straight games. That is a streak. The Cubs are streaking through the streets of Chicago right now. Where the heck is Joey at?
That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my God.
Wait.
Oh, my God.
Hold on a second.
The Cubs.
Wait a second,
Joey, the Cubs are streaking.
Wait, we talked about this.
About what?
No. The Cubs are streaking.
Justin, did you not get the email?
Yeah, the Cubs are streaking,
but
8 in a row.
No, I thought it was after 8 in a row, we're going streaking. That's what you said.
No,
I never said that.
Just the Cubs?
No.
Just the Cubs. The Cubs are streaking.
But everybody's doing it. The Cubs.
Absolutely not. This is a family show.
I thought we were going to do it through the quad, and the
Take
three of
that
us,
Cubby
we were going to
Bear
be going
sweater
streaking.
And put your shirt on.
Do you think Arby's is open right now?
We've had a goose, we've had a rat, and now we got a bear.
God.
A goose, a rat, and a grizzly bear.
All right,
bear.
fine. All right, fine. What God gave me, I will keep under wraps right now. As long as the Cubs keep winning, we'll be fine.
All right.
Keep your
That was a
shirt on.
miscommunication on my part. That's right, Shane. We're going streaking.
Can we get him a shirt, somebody, please?
He's sitting in the middle of us. He got to put a shirt on. He can't sit here.
Luke, we'll keep you on ISO cam for a sec.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. And I will not be taking off my shirt. We now have had Braggs and Joey both topless in this studio. Tarps off.
Tarps off.
Yeah, Braggs did it once too, didn't he?
Beautiful
Ben
bodies.
Johnson.
Beautiful
Yeah.
bodies.
Well, I can promise you guys that I will never do that.
Sarah, do you think
What?
you could do a side-by-side before the show's over, find the Braggs naked shot and the Joey and see which one
Braggs,
did?
for whatever reason, on Friday 120s, always ends up taking his shirt off by
really?
the 5th inning.
Okay.
So
Fifth
I don't
inning.
know if that's the whiskeys or I don't know if that's the game. I don't know.
I just need to read my emails a little bit more,
Yeah.
with a little bit more intention, a little bit more detail.
Cubs are streaking 8 in a row.
That's
the
right,
Cubs
Justin.
are streaking.
That's right. They won 8 in a row.
And it feels good, man. I mean, listen, it's good to be a Cubs fan right now. 8 in a row. I mean, how far are we going to go with this thing? You know?
Well, here's the best part about it. Are you okay
good,
over
Luke?
I
there?
don't know. I'm going to go find
Is
out.
that your streaking? Is that your streaking phone?
I just got an
Okay.
alert from Xfinity saying co-anchor naked.
5-year plan. Yeah, that's what it was, right? It was the neighborhood app saying "naked man" in the middle of studio right now.
All right, we got this.
So
We got
Justin,
this.
here's my big takeaway from tonight's game.
Okay.
And throughout the course of this 8-game winning streak, right? Throughout this 8-game winning streak, it's been a different person every single night. It's been a different chapter. It's been a different kind of whatever it is. Starting pitching is stepping up. Bottom of the lineup is stepping up. Nico Hoerner is awesome every single day. Justin, the best part about tonight's win was that the guys that we banked on all last year, your sluggers, your heroes, most of the dudes that when you buy a jersey, they got the name on the back of them, right?
Yeah.
The guys that were saying, man, when are they going to turn it on? Michael Busch tonight, Seiya Suzuki tonight, Crow-Armstrong tonight came up huge. And Alex Bregman had 3 hits, right?
Yep.
Your big dogs, Justin. Remember we were talking about big dogs?
Yeah.
The big dogs finally showed up tonight.
Yes.
And they carried them to a victory. That's just one of 15 that they have this year. I promise you, there's going to be plenty more of those coming the rest of the season.
Yep.
But that's the big takeaway for me tonight is that the big dogs showed up and carried the day. And, man, it was good to see.
The big takeaway for me was, I spent a lot of time on my outfits, right? So I was in my closet. I have a Cubs closet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, which which jersey am I going to wear today, right? And I'm like, you know who's been balling recently is Dansby Swanson. Like he's, I think, tied or second in like NL in walks. Like he's been hitting the ball hard, hitting some bombs and everything. I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick a Dansby Swanson jersey, and I'm going to rock it today, you know, get the vibes going. Everybody in the lineup contributed today. Everybody, all the guys you named, Busch, PCA, Seiya, Bregman, everybody contributed except for Dansby Swanson. And he also made a couple errors. I'm not joking when I tell you. This is what I'm wearing, guys. Swanson.
It felt like the right time to do it.
This is it.
It felt like the right time to do it. He's been playing great baseball right now. And frankly, he's been one of the guys that's been carrying us, right? But on a night like tonight,
I cursed him.
He didn't have to do that, right? On a night like tonight, it didn't have to necessarily be Nico Hoerner. It didn't have to be, oh man, what's Carson Kelly doing this time, right? It was the guys that we've banked on, that we've all been saying, when are these dudes going to turn the corner? I don't know if all of them are going to turn the corner at the exact same time, but I loved everything that I saw from them. We're going to talk more offense in a second, Justin, but I think we would be remiss. Typically here on CHGO Cubs, we start with the pitching, right? So let's go back just really quick. Let's start at the beginning of this. I want to get your take and perspective on what you thought from Matthew Boyd coming back, close to almost 3 weeks gone. What did you think of his performance tonight?
I thought he was very good. I'm not going to say great.
Yeah.
I want to say he was very good, but also kind of like to be expected, right? Like I didn't expect him to pitch a no-hitter, but he went out there, did his job, only really had a sequence of a couple batters there where I was like a little dicey. Like he really looked good, looked like normal Matt Boyd to me. Selfishly for many reasons, but for him and then also my fantasy, I really wish he would have got through the fifth to get that win, you know?
Right.
He deserved it. I feel like I deserve it, but regardless, bottom line is what you play for the name on the front of the jersey versus the name on the back of the jersey. So the fact that I get why Counsell pulled him and everything, but I thought he looked really, really good. And the best part was we thought, man, maybe he goes 4 innings. Oh wait, he's going back out for the. Oh wait, to get to 80 something pitches. It was like, all right, man, they're not babying this guy. And it was a great first start. Now I expect the next start, you pushing 90 or whatever. So ultimately, I thought he did exactly what I expected, what I wanted, and what a boost to our rotation and our overall team to have a healthy Matthew Boyd back.
Play for the front of the jersey, back of the jersey. You just go streaking like me, man. Just take it all off, honestly.
Right.
We see some great people here in the chat. What's up, Jose? Matthew Boyd did good today. Sicko checking with Vince. What's up, Vince? I'm with you, man. 4 2/3 innings. He still had the swing and the miss going.
He did.
He got into a little bit of trouble where I started getting a little worried, where he had maybe a 4 to 5 batter sequence where things got a little wobbly, was giving up some hard hit contact, but he was able to get through it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm with you. I'm kind of surprised that they let him go over 80 plus pitches after being out 3 weeks, only throwing 64 pitches in a AAA rehab assignment the week before. But he really did calm down, and I felt like the first inning was awesome because literally strikes out Schwarber on 3 pitches. Had a bit of an immaculate inning going for half a second there. Got Trey Turner to 0-2. Looked really good and crisp in the first inning. Fell apart a little bit, but I love how he rebounded over those last couple innings, and I think that's why they allowed him to go a little bit deeper into the game.
Yeah.
Would have been great to get him that win.
Yes.
Absolutely, because he definitely did deserve it.
He did.
But again, you have to think long-term. You have to think long haul with Matthew Boyd. I think they maybe extended him a couple pitches more than they maybe would have liked.
Yeah.
But I thought he pitched well, man. And right now, the way that this offense is rolling, pitching well or pitching pretty good is good news, right? Did you call the cops on me? Is that what that was? Are you
I'm not even getting into it.
Okay, never mind.
I'm not even getting into it. Everything is fine.
Okay, good.
We're talking Boyd. Good. I'm glad to hear it.
We're talking Boyd.
Yes. What'd you think?
I thought he was good.
Yeah.
For, being out for that long.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just glad he's pitching.
Yeah.
I would have been okay if it was another week, to be honest with you, because the guys were doing pretty well without him, and you don't want him rushed back too early. How do you feel about Assad being the guy that's going to the bullpen?
Love it. Love it. I said all along, Colin Ray has earned his keep. Colin Ray was an unsung hero for us last year, and so far this year, same thing. I mean, he's been the better of the two. Now, listen, Javier Assad, I think, has had 2 good starts and 1 kind of stinker. But Colin Ray, they've all been good. And so I love it. I'm all about it. I think that Colin Ray, listen, let him start every fifth day until we get Justin Steele back, and then figure that out from there. But a healthy Matthew Boyd, again, man, it's a boost to the team, boost to the arm, right? And I think the overall morale of this team, and it makes us that much deeper. To put Javier Assad in the bullpen now, you're going to have another guy that can eat innings and piggyback, if you will. And it just makes us better all the way around, for sure.
Yeah, you say healthy Matthew Boyd, and I don't want to sound like I'm being negative towards really anyone, and especially because Matthew Boyd pitched tonight, but I think of the word healthy competition is something that's really brewing, hopefully, on this team, as long as these guys can continue to take their turn. Where, I'm going to be honest with you, when Justin Steele comes back, I don't know how they're going to utilize Justin Steele right out of the gate. But let's say he's looking really great at AAA, and they do want to get him into a routine where he can warm up properly, he can come out, and he can start a game. If Colin Ray keeps pitching the way that he does right now, I think there's some healthy competition maybe with him and Matthew Boyd or Jamison Tyne or something like that. I'm not saying that Matthew Boyd is pitching for his job right now, but I think healthy competition is good. And the thing that I liked the most, Luke, was I get it. We had a wobbly start for the first 15 games of the season this year, or 16, excuse me. But those first 4 or 5 before Cade Horton got hurt, I was watching them saying, I can't believe we have a guy like Colin Ray and Ben Brown that can come out of the bullpen, 2 guys that can give you multiple innings out of the pen. By the end of May, when Justin Steele comes back, whoever those guys are, it could be Javier Assad, it could also be Colin Ray, but then it restores that thing that I got really, really, really excited about. Those bridge guys that we saw it again with Ben Brown tonight, pitched well again. He keeps that up. It's Ben Brown, it's somebody else. Like, I think that the depth is starting to show through with this Cubs team right now, and I like the healthy competition of you got to be on your stuff every single turn if you want to hold on to your spot.
Yeah, I don't think there's any immediate plans to move anybody out of the rotation.
I don't think so.
It's all so early. Like, listen, I'm excited about the start for Nico Hoerner. I'm excited about the start for Colin Ray. I'm thrilled about Shota, like we talked about last night. But it's April.
Yeah.
Let's in the grand scheme of we talk about it every night, so it's easy to go up and down and up and down.
Sure.
But if
well, really, it's up. It's really up right now.
But if you zoom out, you can just be like, listen, last year we freaked out because they had the best record in baseball, and they had a guy that was an RBI leader, and we had potentially 2 MVPs playing and all that stuff, and then the second half wasn't as good. The playoffs turned out to be pretty good for a while. Let's let it play out a little bit, right? Like, long term, let's just let it play out. I don't think Boyd's getting moved out of the rotation.
No.
I hope he bounces back just like Shota. Like, the only reason Matthew Boyd struggled at all last year is because he was out of gas.
Totally.
So I hope more than that even when and if Steele comes back and is contributing in a big way, that Ray can make some starts, that Assad can make some starts, that Ben Brown can make some starts, so that guys like Boyd can have their innings drop down and they can be fresh for when it really matters, hopefully when this team's playing playoff baseball.
Couldn't agree more. And guys, let's not gloss over Ben Brown. He looked awesome.
Really good.
And he looked really good when multiple people in our chat are talking about how good Ben Brown looked. So listen, that guy's been polarizing. He gets a lot of hate, man. I've always believed in him. Sky high potential. He's put together a couple back-to-back outings that he's looked good in, and it's reflected in our chat. So, Ben Brown is a weapon. Where is that weapon going to end up ultimately? I have no idea. But Ben Brown is a weapon, and he looked really, really good tonight.
Yeah, 2 1/3 innings tonight, 5 Ks. He did give up 3 hits, but again, all of his stuff looked really crisp. And if you're rolling through it now, that is his 4th straight outing without giving up a run.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now he's
37 pitches, 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, 8 1/3 innings, no runs, 9 strikeouts during that span, and providing, honestly, something that's so desperately needed, just a feeling of calm and consistency when this bullpen right now is so up in the air. And I understand that it's chaos right now, but we do have to give some credit. These guys are getting the job done. I mean, Corbin Martin has been called up, and he's answered the call. The couple of times they've brought him up, I thought Hobie Milner had a nice bounce-back outing tonight. I thought Jacob Webb over the weekend looked better than early season Jacob Webb. So I'm with you, Luke. Like, living in the present right now, they're trending in the right direction. I'm not saying that that's sustainable.
And I'm not trying to be a buzzkill.
No, but I'm with you.
We should enjoy the hell out of it.
Right? Yeah. But like, I'm looking at like, how are they going to survive the next couple of weeks? And I'm starting to get more encouraged about them being able to survive the next couple of weeks with some of these performances that we're seeing. Shout out to Brad Pitt in the chat, by the way. Brad Pitt comments after almost all of our videos. It's great to see him in the live chat tonight. Thank you for joining in.
People confuse us all the time. We will get to our Toyota Super Chats after a quick break. We still have to do the drive of the game?
We do.
We sure do.
Still got to do the drive of the game. It's coming up next on the CHGO Cubs podcast.
Hey, Luke, I don't know if you know this, but I'm picking up a lot of nicknames around the office.
Oh, yeah.
Last night was Mouse Man, but everyone knows I go back to my tried and true, the OG. I am the Toyota boy. Why do they call me that, you say? Well, my family's been driving Toyotas my entire life. My first car ever, Toyota Corolla. Second car ever, Toyota Camry. I can't get off it because I love driving Toyotas. They're stylish, they're durable, they're amazing. And right now this summer, they got some deals for you because Toyota says, let's put the good times in gear. And whether it is that Camry, that Corolla, maybe it's the Tundra, the Tacoma, the 4Runner. And if you want some cool available features, they got you covered because they've got power tailgates to power your game days and a trailer backup guide that is clearly champ of the ramp. At this point, every day's a weekend. We might just cancel Mondays at this point. Toyota's got the power, and Toyota Boy said so. That's right. Find your favorite Toyota trucks and all their amazing vehicles if you go to Toyota.com. Remember, go to Toyota.com for Toyota. Let's go places.
Toyota Boy.
That's me.
Hey, it's never too late for a Four Seasons AC tune-up. Schedule yours now. Save $50, only $89.95. Every tune-up is backed by an industry-leading 1-year no breakdown guarantee for peace of mind all year, and it's backed by their trusted local experts. Got a plumbing or electrical emergency? Call Four Seasons. Heating or cooling not working? Call Four Seasons. Thinking about a whole home generator? Call Four Seasons. They got it all. Four Seasons, they guarantee same-day installation for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, and generator needs. No extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays. Nice. So for all the right reasons, call 866-4-SEASONS, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Four Seasons, heatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. That's Four Seasons, heatingcooling.com. I got to get my AC tune-up because when the hot weather gets here, I don't like to sweat, so I better make the call.
Keep it cool, Stucky.
Back on the CHGO Cubs podcast, presented by Bet365. Winning is everything, and Toyota. Let's go places. We are live in the Xfinity Loft on an 8-game winning streak.
We're live
with
already.
Your Toyota Super Chats. $199 from McIntyre. Won't need a closer rest of the year, looks like.
Right?
Kenadope says, I almost went to Valhalla a couple weeks ago. We're winning the World Series. Fight me. Bregman doesn't stink, by the way. PCA, I am OG. And then our guy Andrew from Australia says, I feel like Brown is finding his groove.
Yep.
Really good sign. That's how we went to break, talking about Ben Brown. And Ben Brown is without question one of the X factors for this team as it went into the season. And right now he's off to a real nice start, and we'll see how it progresses from here. Hopefully he can build on it. But he definitely went into the offseason saying, I know it's not good enough. Craig told me it's not good enough. I got to make some adjustments.
And he has. And clearly they believed in him, though. Like, I mean, it wasn't that they cut him or DFA'd him or anything. Like, clearly they believe in him as part of our future. I just don't know if anybody really knew what that was going to be. But it seems like he's definitely, I'm with you, Andrew. He definitely looks like he is kind of settled into this multi-relief role, at least for right now. And listen, I'm sounding like a broken record, but we do it every single night. And I believe in this. I feel like Ben Brown can kind of be our old school Keegan Thompson when he was like the fireman, multi-inning weapon, multi-inning reliever. Ben Brown can be that for this team and hopefully be even better because he's got the stuff. And they're showing stats about, like, you know, he had a sinker, I believe it was, that, I mean, like, the whole knock on Ben Brown was he's got 2 pitches, but like now he's got 3. And you're seeing the results for the most part have been phenomenal with those 3. So yeah, man, I mean, he's still young. Don't count him out. He's still young, sky high potential. You know, we could be looking back and going, man, this might be the season that Ben Brown came of age.
Yeah, so far the stuff is matching the maturity. He's always had the stuff. and now he's with the sea legs under him a little bit, and he's getting that confidence. I think he understands what he needs to do to go out there and execute, especially as you said in the multiple innings. I said it earlier this week, and my hot take is, Luke, that I think next week if there is a save situation against the San Diego Padres, and they have a lot of right-handers in that lineup outside of like Ramon Laureano, I think they go to Ben Brown. I think Caleb Thielbar is going to be the guy, but again, as we saw, Caleb Thielbar, I don't think you want to run that guy out there back-to-back days a lot. Again, this bullpen situation is going to take a village. I think it's Thielbar first. I think hopefully maybe they get Maton back sooner than later, but when you get him back, you're not throwing him into the fire. I think maybe next week, and probably, I'm just saying I'm hedging because I'm not saying the Dodgers. They have a lot of left-handed hitters, but if there is a save situation next week against the San Diego Padres, I think you could see Ben Brown out there in a save situation.
That is no small statement from Mouseman.
No, it is not.
That is a hot take, and I like it, and here's why I like it. I don't like Thielbar being the closer at 39.
Me neither.
I don't like putting tons of innings on my best lefty who is 39 years old, and it's April.
Right.
These games are important, and you got to win the division this year.
And we've seen him get rocked a couple times. We've seen that in person.
I don't need him. He is a perfect example of somebody, just like we're talking about the starters with Matthew Boyd. He's a perfect guy that I would like to scale back in the middle of the season and start filtering in all kinds of guys. Even if you want to bring somebody in for a while and try, if Luke Little's here for a while and starts Jordan Wicks for a little while, whoever it might be, I would much rather see Ben Brown closing games than Caleb Thielbar because I think his arm can take it.
1,000%.
I'm not so sure about it's nothing against Thielbar. It's that he's 39.
Right.
And he is a critical piece of that bullpen when hopefully you need him in the postseason.
And the potential is matching the production right now, Justin.
Yeah,
that's why
totally.
I think he maybe deserves the opportunity if it is next week while we're trying to cover these final 6 outs, these final 3 outs against some tough teams on the road. Ben Brown has earned that opportunity to maybe get that look, and I think he's the best right-hander in the pen right now.
And look at how the tables have turned. The chat is loving Ben Brown. That's how you know the vibes are good. And I think I'll come full circle with you guys because, you know, during our watch-along, which, by the way, we're undefeated in our Wednesday watch-alongs, 4-0.
Never lost.
We had a heated debate about, like, brownies and chocolate cake. And our guy Andrew from Down Under, he's got the comment of the night, I want to say. If you go up a little bit more, Sarah, right there. Is Ben Brown our favorite brownie?
Ooh.
I mean, he just tied it all together. Man, is Ben Brown our favorite brownie?
James Brown, Hubie Brown.
You just put me in a question that I
Charlie
cannot
Brown.
answer.
Bobby Brown?
As a man of integrity, I can't answer that question because it's definitely with chocolate chips.
All right.
But I still like Ben Brown.
Oh, yeah.
He's rising up the ranks. Can we give him credit? He's on the charts, right, Justin? I think he's charting right now.
He is charting.
Godfather. All of a sudden, we need a closer, Luke. Not when Palencia is back, you don't.
Oh, that's the thing is. And the thing is, like, you could be closer by committee or these multi-inning relievers until Palencia gets back.
What we're talking about
and it seems like, by the way, Palencia's not going to be out for a long time. So, you know, kind of just hold serve, if you will, with these closer by committee talks. And then you get arguably one of the best closers in baseball back, and this team gets even stronger. Like, oh man, optimism times 11.
Love you and appreciate you, Godfather CHGO, but we said it the other day, so we'll say it again, and maybe we'll say it slower, is that Daniel Palencia was the closer. He got hurt. Phil Maton was probably your second in charge.
He got hurt.
Hunter Harvey was the wild card. Maybe he can be the closer at some point this year because he has the stuff.
He got hurt.
Dude got hurt. We're on our 4th guy right now. If Ben Brown closes the game next week, that would be our 5th guy. It's hard to just cover that many understudies, Luke, and that's where the Cubs are at right now in this moment. And the beauty of it is they are winning games in so many different ways where they don't have to depend on this lockdown bullpen. We spent so many segments last August and September because their offense was struggling of what's the combination? Kittredge, Thielbar, Keller, to Palencia, or what is it? Flip it, whatever it is, because they were playing tight ball games all the time. It was 2-1, and the offense wasn't playing well. The offense is playing well right now, and the starting rotation is getting the job done. Those two components are allowing you the opportunity to maybe hide some of the flaws in the bullpen, but also tinker a little bit and experiment and try and get the right matchup to just try and get you 3 outs in an inning to win another game. That's where they're at right now, and that's what they're going to be at for the next couple weeks.
That is the voice of Mouse Man. By the way, if you didn't hear it, apparently Jameson Tyone, you had pet mice. Tyone apparently had a pet rat.
What?
Story to be delivered later.
My guy.
He's from Canada.
Jesse Rogers reported that he has heard that at one point Jameson Tyone had a pet rat. All right, it is time for the drive of the game, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. How about Michael Busch?
Oh, thank God.
Yes.
As much as it was a great game to see Matthew Boyd come back, and it was great to see 8 straight wins now. What I really like to see is the guys who have been struggling all looked like they may have snapped out of it tonight.
Yeah.
This could be the game where we say, remember when it was 8 straight and Seiya hit a homer, Busch hit a homer, PCA had multiple hits, Bregman had multiple hits, and we look back and say that's when the offense had really started building, but it was doing it without some of the big names.
Yep.
Michael Busch's home run, man, there were a lot of sighs of relief. That's all I know. A lot of people starting to go, oh, you know why? Because there is no freaking backup plan.
There isn't. He's playing A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
There is no backup plan at first. It is him.
Yeah.
So great to see him hit that home run.
And I'll tell you what, you named 3 guys that I'm going to focus on. Michael Busch, PCA, Seiya Suzuki. It wasn't just today, right? Yesterday, Michael Busch, I called it a slump buster. Yeah, he kind of dinked one into the outfield, a 2 RBI single.
Yeah.
All right.
But then he got tagged in the face. I was worried he was concussed.
Right. Yesterday, PCA, I believe, had 2 hits, I want to say.
Yeah, 3 tonight.
Yesterday, Seiya Suzuki, bomb, and I think an RBI single yesterday. Yeah. Now you come to today. All 3 of those guys delivered again today. So it's not like a 1-game fluke. It's kind of like maybe, just maybe, these guys are getting their confidence back, you know, and it's like a snowball effect, right? So, yeah, I'm thrilled about the Michael Busch thing because we really needed him to get going. This guy led our team in home runs last year. I mean, he, I think, is a beast when it comes to left-handed power. But I just love seeing all 3 of those guys put together back-to-back games of productivity, and that can only bode well for our Cubbies.
The opposite field home run from Michael Busch was a great sight to see. Can we play Taijuan Walker all the time?
Right.
Can I just ask that, please? Because
the Phillies all the time, actually.
Look, he was a guy that, you know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I think he was definitely a middle of the rotation starter and a guy that you'd want to invest heavy dollars in. But frankly, like tonight, he just looked like a guy. And he's a guy that throws about 91 miles an hour, but a bunch of cutters, a bunch of sinkers, nothing crazy. And it was so great to see Michael Busch just take the ball opposite field. And it was so great, too, also just to see him have a ball go over the fence because the guys also hit a bunch of warning track, what could have beens. And he's a guy that I think we talked a little bit last night about bat speed, talked a little bit about mechanics. And when we talk about Michael Busch and maybe even to a further extent with PCA right now, I think Taijuan Walker was a great matchup for them because they were able to see ball out of hand, and I think that they were able to react. And in PCA's case, they were able to hit the ball hard. With PCA specifically, what's been so interesting about him and with Walker tonight is he didn't throw a crazy slider out there. And that's the one pitch that, look, PCA and a lot of left-handed hitters are just going to have a hard time hitting. But with PCA last year, against changeup last year, he hit .309 and slugged .447. So it isn't like PCA goes up there, in my opinion, and he has a hard time where he's just like Javi. He gets the comp to Javi Baez where he's like, I'm going to swing at something no matter what. PCA can recognize pitches. He has pitch recognition skills. He hit .309 against the changeup last year, hitting only .111 against the changeup. He's also pretty good against the breaking ball, too, as well, and he's pretty good at fastball. So it's just the slider that gives him a hard time. And tonight with Taijuan Walker, he didn't have to be overpowered by a fastball up in the zone. And I think the pitch recognition, which we've seen progress over the last 4 or 5 games, get better. Tonight he was able to cash in, and it was so great to see him get the ball in the air and hit a ball off the wall. And then the rest of it, picking up some hits, stealing a base, doing PCA things. That kind of confidence just allows him in his process to get in the box and have better results moving forward. So for both those guys, Luke, like we've been talking about them for weeks. When's it going to happen?
Yeah.
When's the light going to turn on? Tonight was a perfect night to do it because it was the big guys in the Cubs lineup that carried the day when all season long it's been some of these role players or ensemble members that have been kind of carrying the freight.
Which has been great.
Amazing.
But if they're going anywhere, these are the guys that have to carry them. Let's be honest with it. And I wonder if PCA's bunt last night was also part of that confidence thing. Like
slump buster, like
Slump
you
buster.
said.
right? Like
100%.
starting to feel good. Pat in the live YouTube chat here at the CHGO Cubs YouTube channel, which please subscribe, like, thumbs up, give it whatever. He puts in there, he says, you could see the relief on Busch's face.
He was smiling.
When he was going up.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't want to take too much out of it, but it did almost seem like he was like, oh man.
Totally.
Thank you.
You don't think these guys know? I mean, they could tell you in interviews all the time, like, oh, we don't look at social media. We don't look. They do. They hear it. They whatever
feel
it is, they feel it, And you don't think that, listen, people in the chat, us, we see Busch struggling. You don't think Michael Busch knows that he's struggling? He knows more than anybody. I'm sure every advanced stat that they have, what's going on with him. So, yeah, to get one opposite field, at home, crowd going crazy, you're damn right a sigh of relief, man. Be happy.
His walk rate's over 11% right now. It's not that he's not seeing the ball poorly. I bet you he probably feels pretty decent at the plate. And when you're not getting results and you're feeling pretty good at the plate, at some point you're going to ask yourself, all right, well, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
And I think tonight was a great night to hit a ball opposite field over the fence. And that's the old baseball cliche. Once you start hitting the ball opposite field with power, good things start to happen. When you use the center of the field and you go oppo, that's when the balls start yanking for Michael Busch. That's when they start going to the yard and right field too as well. So hopefully just a taste of things to come from PCA, Seiya, Busch. What was it? You said last night, if 2 or 3 of those guys can get going.
Even if one of them slumps all season.
Yeah, we got all 3 tonight.
2 out of 3, that's right. Hey, how many wins will this winning streak end up being? I ask you that in the live YouTube chat as we head to break on the CHGO Cubs podcast.
Closer coming back.
All right, small business owners, this one is for you. When your company is growing fast, order fulfillment can make or break your success. ShipStation's intelligence-driven platform brings order management, rate shopping, inventory and returns, warehouse systems, and comprehensive analytics all in one place, saving customers 15 hours per week on fulfillment. With ShipStation, everything you need to manage getting orders to customers is in one place. Connect to over 200 sales channels. Instead of 5 to 7 disconnected tools, you've got one. Set up time-saving automations. ShipStation picks the best carrier, finds you the best rate, prints labels in bulk, and sends tracking updates. Done. 1 million businesses have trusted ShipStation. Try ShipStation for free for 60 days with full access on all features. No credit card needed. Go to ShipStation.com and use code CHGO for 60 days for free. 60 days gives you plenty of time to see exactly how much time and money you're saving on every shipment. That's ShipStation.com, code CHGO, ShipStation.com, code CHGO.
You know, Justin, every summer time comes around and I got to say to myself, man, I got to go to some Cubs games.
Yes.
I got to have some fun.
Yes.
I got to be in that Wrigley sun. So that means I need to start saving up my money. And whether it's in the field or in your financial life, the best teams win by delivering excellence at every level. And that's where Old National Bank comes in, and they believe that every single play matters. From everyday checking to long-term planning and commercial banking, their team is there to help build momentum and help you move the ball forward. And it all starts with a plan tailored to you by professionals that you can trust. From simple tasks to bigger financial moments, you can count on them to coordinate your needs with steady, knowledgeable guidance that brings clarity and confidence to each step. It's a partnership designed to help you supported, not just today, but all summer long for all that fun Cub stuff that you want to do and well into the future. So whether you're celebrating a win, rebuilding after a tough loss, which hasn't been happening a lot around here lately, or gearing up for whatever comes next, they've got your back with tools, insights, and an expert crew that's always in your corner. It's Old National Bank, member FDIC, where relationships and results matter.
Live in the Xfinity Loft, back on the CHGO Cubs podcast, presented by Bet365 and Toyota. We have some Toyota Super Chats we'll get to in a second, but first, we want to show you some of the merch we got out there, so the next time the Cubs are here on a homestand, you can wear your sick drip to the ballpark. And and be the envy of all your friends.
Turn on your fashion faucet.
Friday 120 Club will be meeting on May 1st.
Yes.
May 1st with an Almost Home post-game show, correct?
That's
At
correct.
Almost Home right there.
Free to join, right?
Free to join.
Interesting.
Friday 120 Club, we now have 2 hoodies, a T-shirt. We got 2 new shirts, including the powder blue Chicago flag. We got the 1060 West Addison Wrigley Field's address, and 2 new lids. So check them on out. And, as the kids say, make sure your outfit is crispy.
Yeah, if you come to our broadcast, we're gonna do a fit check.
Crispy.
A fit check.
Are you crispy?
I'm extra crispy.
Nobody wants soggy bacon or a soggy outfit. They want it crispy, baby.
Justin is always crispy.
Oh, thank you,
Luke
Sarah.
is always
Careful.
having sick drip. And Joey
It's always streaking.
just keeps streaking.
It's always streaking.
Joey thankfully has his clothes back on.
Who knows what I'm going to wear?
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I asked at the break, like, hey, how many 8-game winning streak? Where are they going with this? This is the longest winning streak in a while, longest under Craig Counsell. Jay says 21. Ron thinks maybe 8 more wins in a row.
Oh,
I saw somebody say 137. Just went out.
Yeah, right. Went out. First off, before I get
22?
to my prediction here, I feel like Godfather is just a ray of sunshine. Godfather says, sorry to say, streak ends tomorrow. Phillies overdue for a win. Thank you, Godfather. I appreciate the optimism there.
But earlier, most important thing from the Godfather is that Craig Counsell's out of his slump, managing the team well, most important fact. So Godfather giving a little love to Craig Counsell.
with a little backhand first.
Backhand
little
compliment.
backhand smack.
At least even Godfather's enjoying 8 straight wins.
I feel like LeBron James back when he was like doing that stupid concert with like Dwayne Wade. How many championships? 5, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing was like so
was
cringe.
how many teams he was gonna play for.
I feel that way right now about our Cubbies. Right? How many more wins can they have in a row? Listen, my heart tells me 100. My head tells me we're going to sweep the Phillies tomorrow. We got Cabrera on the mound. I think that we win tomorrow. To expect them to go to LA and sweep the Dodgers in LA, that's a really tall order. So I'm going to say the streak ends at 10.
10. Like that.
Okay. Yeah,
I
10.
like that we could go into LA, win a couple of games, let PCA do. Listen, I think PCA is going to really break out in LA.
Yeah.
That's where he gets it done.
He'll get some booze.
There.
He'll get some booze over there too.
He likes to play there.
That's what I think. Levi Potts says crispy counsel. Huh? What do you think about that?
Oh, nice.
Do we have any more Toyota Super Chats? Sure
What are your
Did we do Stevens here?
before we do that one? What's your predictions here for?
So I'm with you, man. I mean, honestly, I'm greedy right now. We got the Phillies are down, man. So let's take the foot and put it on the net and sweep them tomorrow, man.
Yes.
Great stat yesterday that they've already clinched the season series versus the Phillies. I know the Phillies aren't playing very well right now, but you know how we like to play that game in August and September of, we don't hold the tiebreaker. I mean, that could play an important role in God knows what. So we got them right where we want them. We got them on the ropes. It should be a really fun day at Wrigley tomorrow. The weather seems like it's going to be really
beautiful.
nice.
Yep.
We got our sluggers finally slugging. So I'm up for the sweep. In terms of the road trip, the Dodgers and the Padres, I'm probably looking a little bit more cautiously optimistic. I think a 4-2 would be a great road trip. 3-3 would be
Honestly,
pretty good
I'd
too
take
as well.
3-3.
Yeah, that's what I would say. 3-3 is probably a little bit more in line. We're having fun. It's an 8-game win streak. I do think at some point this bullpen issue is going to rear its ugly head at some point, and that's okay. Again, like when you say the Phillies are due to win, and there's law of averages in Major League Baseball. What we're doing right now with as many guys down in the bullpen as possible is really impressive. So, yeah, it might happen at some point over the next week or so, but I think that they've got this internal fortitude right now. I think they have an internal confidence from every different aspect of the team right now where they can be able to withstand a tough loss if it happens. Hopefully Cubs fans can do the same. So, yeah, 3-3, 4-2 on a road trip, I'd be pretty elated with that, to be honest with you.
When the voice of reason is a man who has shown you his nipples on the show, you know you have a special broadcast.
Happy Earth Day, everybody.
No nipples were shown?
No,
Did
no
we
nipples
blow them
were
out?
No, I knew what
You
the
know
laws
what
and
to do.
standards were. I mean, come on, we're on fast here. We're on Samsung TV and Roku.
There's
channel.
a law against that?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I was like, people guys go like to the pool. We take our shirts off for the pool. Is that illegal? Like, come on. I don't want to see them, but I'm saying if they were shown.
That's not an encouragement of any kind. Let's go to our Toyota Super Chat. Jay says, sweep tomorrow with Cabrera on the mound.
Yes.
Man, I want to see Cabrera.
Agreed.
I want to see Cabrera just dominate.
Oh, I would love
That's what
that.
I want to see him have like a show-to-like game.
Yes.
Where I can say, ooh, wait a minute. Who is the... I want to have that conversation again. Those are the fun conversations. Who is the ace?
Yeah.
I don't know. How could you be better than Shota? Wow, look at Cabrera stuff. He had 12 strikeouts today. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is what Tyone's going to do in his next start. Right now, you would have to say that it's Shota.
1,000%.
Right?
Yeah. If you're going off of like
who would have said that
to this
March
point of the
1st,
season,
maybe?
it's for sure Shota Imanaga, right? I think I feel like stuff-wise, your ace is going to be Edward Cabrera. And don't forget, just because Shota's had a phenomenal start to the season, don't discredit Cabrera's start because he's had a really good start too. But Shota has been better. So yeah, right now there's the stats don't lie. Shota's been the best pitcher that we have so far this year.
Flanagan83 encourages you to go to the Bears draft party at Joe's on Weed tomorrow.
Nice.
I endorse that
along
message.
with a W.
I'm sure it's probably 8 of them, right? WWW.
Oh, is it?
It's probably 8 guys. Yeah, 8 in a row.
How about that?
All right.
That's why you brought me in, guys. That's why you bring me in.
Don't bring math onto the show. Don't get started on us now.
Keep your shirt on. Steven says for $2, thoughts of Pedro Ramírez in Iowa and his future. He's been playing great.
I have thoughts.
We were talking about that during the show.
I have
Thoughts on Pedro. He was great at spring training.
I'd rather see him than Scott Kingery on my team right now. But I know it's not going to happen. But
Kingery's taken a lot of heat for one bad game.
a horrible game.
It was a bad game.
This is a fun
game.
a fun baseball conversation to have, and there might not be a right answer to it. We were talking about it today, and we were posting it on CHGO_Cubs on our Twitter, him making a diving stop, him banging a triple off the wall through 21 games right now. If you're unfamiliar with the 22-year-old switch-hitting Pedro Ramírez, who was awesome in spring training.
Yes, he was.
21 games, 7 doubles, 1 triple, 7 home runs, 27 RBIs, slashing .333. I'm blanking on the OBP, but the OPS is over 1,000 right now.
Crazy.
And that is the question that you have to ask yourself as a Cubs fan. Do you want this kid to keep raking at the AAA level as a 22-year-old and getting as good as he possibly can? Or are you interested in, bringing him up right now? But how many at-bats does Scott Kingery have right now? He's got 4 at-bats. Guess how many Pedro Ramírez would probably have in a 3-week span? Maybe just as many because our infield is set at the moment.
Right.
I understand it provides maybe, Counsell some more flexibility that maybe he can. Now, if you bring in a Mo baller and you pinch run, and now you can pinch run with Pedro Ramírez and he can play a better third base than maybe a Scott Kingery would. Where do you land on this, Luke? Because I'd say sit. I'd say keep him at AAA right now.
I just have a question, an honest question. How is his running? I don't remember watching him run that much at spring training. Like, one of the roles that is filled by Kingery is pinch runner, and he does it pretty well. Yeah. I'm not saying you have a guy on the roster just because he's a pinch runner. If Ramírez is better at third and can do that, but Kingery is a guy that is on the roster because he can play infield, he can play outfield, he can pitch. Now, he may not play any of them any well. They might not be. They may not be good, but he has played infield and outfield at the major league level.
I was joking earlier. I don't think Ramírez should come up now in
Probably
favor
not
of.
yet.
I don't. I was just saying that's how much I dislike Scott Kingery on our team. I personally believe that Kevin Alcantara should be the one to come up because you do have a backup infielder in Matt Shaw now. So and now with Seiya back healthy, Matt Shaw is a little limited, right? So I think that Kingery can go. You bring up KA, who is fast, the Jaguar. He can steal bases, and he could be your fourth outfielder. And then Matt Shaw can cover everything, So that's where I'm at. He's been mashing in AAA. What else does the guy have to do? I know his K rate is high, but man, it's like he's a top prospect. And when are you going to give this guy a little bit of run? He's done everything he needs to do. But here we are.
Great comment from Pat Jr. here in the chat saying keep him down, perfect trade bait.
Yeah, and Ron saying, what are they doing with Jonathan Long?
And you ask about Jonathan Long, also hitting the ball well too as well. He's a right-handed hitter who can play first base. But that's a bit of Michael Conforto has hit his way and earned his spot to stay on this team right now. That's a little bit of what's going on. And I promise you they're not going to remove a pitcher from this roster to add another hitter. We also see Baby Two Shark, which is also Sarah, by the way. I am Team Pedro Ramírez. I will just say this, too, as well, and this is totally anecdotal, but I remember we got to spring training, brought to you by Shady Rays. We got in the park, Justin, and we're walking around. We got past home plate, and I swear to God, like, you know what I mean? I'm taking in, I haven't heard baseball in a while, all the sounds and everything, and I hear the crack of the bat, and it was Pedro Ramírez smoking a double into the gap, and we were like, Pedro Ramírez, huh? And we were only there for 3 or 4 days, but every single day we were there.
Yeah, he did something.
Pedro Ramírez did something.
Venezuelan guy.
Nice play at third.
Yeah.
Pedro Ramírez got another
you go.
hit. So keep doing it, kid. You're 22 years old, and you're opening up a lot of eyes right now. And maybe, just maybe, you will have a role on this team. I just don't know if it is right in this very moment.
All right, we have to take one more quick break. Jared Wylls is getting on the line. He's going to join us live from the ballpark. He was there tonight. We're going to talk to him next on the CHGO Cubs podcast.
Mother's Day is right around the corner, and man, oh man, do we have the perfect gift for you. With an Aura frame, you can capture and relive mom's magic every day. All right, how about this? I have a wedding picture of like all the women in my family, right? My mom, my sister, my wife, obviously, her mom. Like, I think I might get Aura frames for all of them so they can relive our wedding over and over and over and over again. Free unlimited storage. Add as many photos and videos as you want. You can preload photos before it even ships. Keep adding from anywhere, anytime. You can personalize this gift. Add a message before it even arrives, right? It's a top-rated app. Reached #1 in the App Store on Christmas Day in 2025. Make Mother's Day special with Aura Frames. Named #1 by Wirecutter. You could save on the gifts moms love by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $25 off their best-selling Carver matte frame with code CHGO. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code CHGO. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
New vehicles in store at Ray Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and you could score a great deal at their Declaration of Deals sales event. Head to Ray CDJR on Route 12 to choose from their huge inventory of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram models. And right now, 0% financing for up to 60 months on new vehicles. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles they have priced under 20 grand right now. Friendly team of brand of experts there. The team at Ray CDGR, that's the team we just guarantee. They're the only ones we trust. And because of Ray's price promise, you could shop confidently. No add-ons, no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Go out and check out our partner. Shop one of the area's largest inventories. Find the right new vehicle and drive home happy. The team at Ray CDJR is the one you need. Don't miss out on the Declaration of Deals sales event for huge savings on new models. For more information, Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online, raycdjr.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Back on the CHGO Cubs podcast presented by Bet365. Winning is everything. And Toyota, let's go places. Live in the Xfinity Loft, the three of us. Live at Wrigley Field, our Jared Wylls, who joins us for the first time this season. Jared, how you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you all?
Man, we're doing great. Eight in a row. You know, like,
8 in a row, Jared.
row.
Come on.
I mean, it's silly that I even ask. I know how you're doing.
Yeah. What were they saying about Matthew Boyd's first start back? Because I wasn't expecting a ton, and I thought he looked pretty good tonight.
Yeah, that was kind of the sentiment, was like, hey, you know, his first start back, we're expecting a little bit of rust perhaps, but he did a really nice job of getting them into the fifth inning. That 3-1 pitch to Kyle Schwarber to get the double play was pretty huge to get those 2 outs there in the fifth. And he talked about feeling a little frustrated by getting ahead of batters and then kind of letting them into counts a few times. But again, some of that just comes from he's been off for a couple of weeks. There's a little bit of rust there, and it's not for nothing that this is the 15-day IL stint that came so early in the season. And so he's also still was very early in his season, hadn't had a lot of starts under his belt. But overall, can't ask for much more than what Boyd did today.
Yeah, I'm curious on the pitches that he threw. I think he threw 84 in the game. Now, I'm not trying to be critical of whether Craig should have let him do that or not, but I am really curious because a lot of what they were talking about when they put him on the IL was his recovery. from his previous start before he went on the IL. He threw 64 pitches in AAA, got up to 84, and people were making a big deal about the pitch count. Did he mention at all about that, or did he mention at all about the recovery? Did the recovery go smoothly or as well as can be expected coming off that start in AAA to come back to the major league level?
Yeah, for sure. Craig did say that before the game, they had kind of a target of about 80 to 85 pitches. So they went into it prepared to let him go right, because I think he finished at, what was it, 84. So that he was right in the range that they were planning for. And Craig also said before the game that it was, I mean, as long ago as I think he said it was 12 days ago that Boyd started feeling really good. So putting him on the IL in the first place was very much like let's be careful. This is a precautionary measure. There's really nothing to be gained by trying to push it at this point in the season. So I think Boyd was in really good shape going into that rehab start. And so then his recovery was pretty much like normal.
I'm all about vibes, right? So like, I obviously when they started off kind of slow, I felt like they were playing tense and they weren't enjoying baseball as much as I've seen this team enjoy baseball. Flip side to this now is that, 8 wins in a row. I see videos of them dancing in the dugout together, having fun on the bases. Michael Busch smiling after that bomb. What was the vibe like with this team that you could tell, and also to a bigger extent the fans at Wrigley? Are you feeling it to be different, or is it just like Wrigley's awesome as always? Like what are you noticing here?
Well, kind of the great thing about this team is I remember it was during that Pirates series after that Saturday game when they'd lost the first 2 games of the series. And Alex Bregman very matter-of-factly said, it'll turn. And Craig Counsell said the same thing. And I remember, the reaction at the time was a lot of frustration from the fans. But if you look back at what they've done since then, it's really hard to say that they were wrong. And you could probably argue that it turned the day after that. And so for the guys in the clubhouse, they are very good about they recognize the season for what it is. It's a long season. They don't get too hung up in some of these shorter stretches, especially early. And I think that's a big part of why they're able to turn around and do what they've done over the last 8 games, despite, like you said, that slow start. And, to some degree, the same for the fans. This is part of what makes Wrigley so great is like the people here are, having a good time no matter what. But yeah, there's an energy here that does feel a little different when you're piling up those W's and you're singing the song after the game. Most definitely. So, yeah, they're wonderfully consistent on both sides, I would say.
They went through all these things. Yes, a slow start, but they lost their ace. They had Seiya out at the beginning, and their big hitters haven't been hitting. But tonight, we saw PCA again with multiple hits. We saw Busch hit a home run. Seiya back-to-back nights now with home runs. What do you think will be the most important thing to come out of that group tonight? Because it was good to see all of them contributing, and I'm hoping that maybe that is a sign of better things to come for all of them.
It really is. And I think one of the things you can really point to is the fact that A, Seiya is back in the lineup, and B, that he's hitting well with, homers and in back-to-back nights now. Because Pete Crow-Armstrong told us after the game that he feels different in his at-bats when Seiya is in the lineup. He said it changes the way that he can approach things. He feels a little more comfortable. So that's significant that Seiya is back. So I think some of the guys like Pete and Michael Busch and some of these other guys that are starting to heat up at the plate, I think having Suzuki there has a lot to do with it. And I don't want to, overlook Alex Bregman either, because I know Bregman is somebody that's invested a lot of time in the cages with PCA. They've spent a lot of time together. They've been working on stuff together. And when you're a young player who's early in your career like Pete is, and you get somebody with Bregman's resume and experience and everything that he's done in his career, who's kind of taken under your wing, so to speak, that has a sizable impact as well. But to me, I think so much of it goes back to you get Seiya in that lineup, and that really makes a big difference.
Let's follow up on Pete. We're talking to Jared Wylls here on CHGO Cubs. He does amazing work for us with his featured articles on allchgo.com. And also shout out to as well, the Players Trust today gave Matthew Boyd a $10,000 grant for Kingdom Home, which you did an amazing feature piece on last summer, which I encourage everyone to go check out at allchgo.com. But I divert back to Pete really quick. Where are you on what have you seen from Pete Crow-Armstrong over the last week? I got like my magnifying glass out and I'm like, he's getting some hits against lefties, but he's maybe seeing the ball a little, like, where do you think he is in terms of turning around his season and maybe looking a little bit more like the PCA that Cubs fans got so excited about this offseason?
I think you're seeing there's a corner that's being turned here, because if you look back at the numbers that he's put up over the last 7 days, he's hitting not like first half Pete of last year, but he's headed in that direction. And I think there's a few things that are going into that. Like, first of all, credit to him, he's putting in a lot of work to do that. And like I alluded to, and what Bregman's done for him, already. But I think there's also something to be said for watch the way he reacts when he strikes out or if he pops up a pitch. I think he's not taking away the Pete that we're used to, but you're probably seeing a slightly more subdued reaction in some of those cases. And that's something that Counsell talked about. He said his time on Team USA made a big impact on him, had a big impact on him, because he said the guys that he spent time around sort of gave him a model for the kind of player that he wants to be as he moves forward in his career. So it's kind of like the conversations we used to have about Javi back in the day, where you don't want to ask him to like quash all of these qualities that he has. So you need Pete to play with emotion, because that's just a part of who he is and part of what makes him great. But learning to channel and harness some of that will make a really big difference. And I do think you're starting to see that a little bit.
We're talking Boyd, we're talking PCA, we're talking, but I feel like one of the unsung heroes on this team recently has been Ben Brown. I think Ben Brown is actually showing some of his full potential here. Where are you at with Ben Brown, and ultimately, where does he fit in on this team? Are we seeing what he's going to be and the trust that the team has in Ben Brown?
Yeah, I mean, easy to overlook just how good he has been this season so far, and good in some important spots. I mean, when you think about when he came into tonight's game, it was still pretty early and it was a close game. And so if you'd gotten some of those Ben Brown performances of old, this is a night that could have turned out very differently. And I think back to, I believe it was on Saturday against the Mets when he came out there, and there's a couple of balls that stay in the infield and he's got runners on and he's in this, what could have been a pretty bad jam, and he gets out of it. So when you watch that maturation in him as a pitcher, that's pretty huge, because his stuff has always been there. The guy's got this stuff. But you're seeing a development in him where he is getting through some of these kinds of situations. And that is a big part of the difference. So what Ben Brown's role might look like going forward, I think is still, it's tough to gauge. I think he's found something of a sweet spot for right now. Does he slot up to some high leverage spots at some point? Do they, I don't know Ben Brown as a starter, if that's something that gets revisited unless there's an emergency situation. But that's what I would be curious to see, is at some point, is it the 7th or the 8th, and now Ben Brown's the guy getting the ball.
Right before we go, because we only got like a minute left, Jared, Barb in the chat, the godmother of the podcast, always likes to refer to you as Alligator Rob.
Oh, yes.
So because you are Alligator Rob, I do have one question. Was there any talk of the rally rat? Was there any talk of the rally rat, Alligator Rob? And have you seen it?
I did not see it today. There was no rat sighting. However, there was a very lengthy conversation about the rat with Craig Counsell before the game. We talked about, the rat a surprisingly long time. And
can he pitch the ninth? Can he pitch the ninth?
So, he's available. He's around. So
catch him.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there were
keep an
actually
eye out for 'em.
questions about the rat.
Crazy.
The
That's
council had to respond, well, Alligator Rob, let me tell you about that rat.
Alligator Rob until now that's sending me, dude.
good old Barb. Good old Barb.
Oh,
You didn't
that's,
know about
that's a
that?
long-standing thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
are
That's
live,
been
Barb. We
Jared's
are live.
nickname. God, since
It's been a
since
while.
the dawn of time.
Alligator
like-
Rob. She was very happy to see you in the chat when you came on. So, Jared, thanks for that. We look forward to having you on throughout the season and appreciate your hard work, bud.
Thanks, guys.
That's Alligator Rob, also known as Jared Willis.
He's so the
here at
opposite of Florida
CHGO.
man, too. That's what's funny to me.
So the Cubs win 7-2. They go for the sweep tomorrow. I saw somebody in the chat saying that Godfather is having some sort of surgery, so we wish him well in his surgery.
He said
for
it
sure.
actually. Yeah, he said
he's going to have a surgery. So
for cancer. Yeah. So,
so,
our
you know,
thoughts and prayers going out to
we
you
go
guys.
back.
jokes
We go
aside
back
with
and forth,
Godfather.
man. We go back and forth, man.
Yes.
he's one of the
Godfather,
OGs.
We appreciate you, man.
You got
Yeah.
this, buddy. You got this.
All my energy, dude.
Yes.
You're gonna do it.
CHGO family thinking of Godfather, and we hope he gets well soon. We will be back after the game tomorrow when hopefully the Cubs win their 9th straight game.
Bring your brooms. Bring your brooms.
Can you believe it?
Come on, let's take it.
And if that happens, Jared will take his shirt off. No, just Joey. Just Joey
Joey.
this time.
I can't throw these babies out there over and over again, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe I don't know. If we win 9 in a row, let's go streaking.
Thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs podcast. Yeah, let's go for 9 in a row tomorrow. Until then, thanks for watching and fly the W.
Snoop-a-loop.
We all silly like the mayor.